Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into some viral footage that is just wow. It shows a whole troop of monkeys charging into a river to take on a crocodile. Yeah, you heard that right. It's an incredible story about instinct, smarts, and just plain unbelievable bravery. All right, so let's just jump right into the craziest part. You've got this whole troop of monkeys, and remember, these are animals that usually stay far away from deep water, and they are deliberately, purposefully jumping into a river that they know is full of predators. It's just a wild sight, and it makes you ask one thing right away. So why on earth would they take a risk like that? Well, to get the answer, we've got to rewind the tape a little bit. We need to see what went down just moments before this, because it all started with a desperate fight for survival. Okay, so let's set the stage. We need to understand the lead up to this insane showdown between a small primate and, well, an apex predator. So the location for all this is a place called Kendrapara in Odisha, India. It's this beautiful wildlife-rich area, but the rivers there, they're home to estuarine crocodiles, and these are some of the biggest, baddest predators on Earth. So yeah, definitely not a place you want to be taking a casual dip. And then you've got this one monkey. He kind of wanders away from the troop, makes his way to the river's edge, totally unaware of what's lurking just under the water. You can just feel it, you know? It's that classic calm before the storm. And bam, just like that, the croc explodes out of the water. It's pure speed and power. It snags the monkey and starts trying to drag it under. In an instant, that monkey is fighting for its life. Now, this is where the story could have had a really grim ending. I mean, what chance does a monkey have, right? But it doesn't end there. What happens next is what makes this so incredible. The troops' reaction, it changes the whole game. And check this out. What they did next wasn't just chaos. It wasn't a panic. It was a plan. They get into the water together as a unit. They swim towards the crocodile. They surround this giant predator and just create so much chaos that it gets confused and lets go. This was a coordinated rescue mission, plain and simple. So you see, this is so much more than just blind courage. It's complex problem solving as a group in the most high-stakes situation imaginable. It shows a level of teamwork and intelligence that is honestly just staggering to watch. But it still begs the question, why? What makes a group of animals risk it all for just one member? Let's dig into the why here, the science, the social dynamics, and the massive, massive risk they were taking. Okay, so at the core of all this is something called social bonding. For monkeys, the troop is absolutely everything. It's not just a bunch of individuals hanging out, it's a really complex society. And the bonds they form, through grooming, protecting each other, that's the glue that holds it all together. It's fundamental to how they survive, find food, and, as we just saw, defend each other from danger. And that's what makes this particular act so amazing. I mean, look, working together to get food or warn about a snake, that's pretty standard monkey business. But what experts will tell you is that mounting a full-on attack against a predator that is so much bigger and stronger, that is not normal. It's an incredibly risky move. They basically chose to fight, to confront the danger head-on, instead of just saving themselves. So as you can probably guess, when this video hit the internet, it just blew up. The reaction was instant, and it was huge. People all over the world were just captivated by it. It went viral almost immediately. You had people everywhere sharing it, talking about it in the comments, trying to make sense of what they were seeing. It was just this raw, powerful moment of nature in action. And a lot of people who saw it had a pretty straightforward take. This is pure animal instinct. It's just hardwired into them, a biological program that says, protect the troop no matter what. But then you have another group of people who saw something more. They looked at it through a more emotional lens. For them, it wasn't just instinct. It was loyalty, a real emotional connection that made them risk everything for one of their own. And for a lot of us, it was just plain inspiring, right? It was this incredible lesson in unity, a reminder of what's possible when you stand together in the face of danger. One of the top comments that kept popping up, especially from India, was Bhaichara on top. And Bhaichara basically means brotherhood. So brotherhood is supreme. It just goes to show how much this act of animal courage connected with some really deep human values. So, okay, what the monkeys did is one thing, but our reaction to it? That might be just as interesting. What does it say about us that we were so completely fascinated by this story? When you boil it all down, I think we're so drawn to stories like this because we see ourselves in them. We see a reflection of our own best values: bravery, loyalty, standing together. It's like we're seeing the best parts of humanity, but in the animal kingdom. And that kind of leaves us with one last big question to think about, doesn't it? When we see animals acting with a kind of courage and loyalty that we recognize in ourselves, what does that really tell us? Maybe it shows that the connection between us and them is much deeper than we usually admit. Maybe that line we like to draw between human and animal is a whole lot blurrier than we ever imagined.